For years, Shein dominated the fast fashion market by offering clothes so cheap they seemed too good to be true. $5 crop tops, $3 sunglasses, $8 jeans, it was a shopping paradise, especially for Gen Z. But if you've been browsing Shein lately, you may have noticed something strange. Those jaw-dropping prices, they're creeping up. Slowly, subtly, but significantly. So what's going on? Why is Shein, the king of ultra-budget fashion, raising its prices? Let's unpack this. Shein didn't rise to fame by being just another online clothing store. It revolutionized how fast fashion works. Traditional retailers might need weeks or even months to bring new designs to shelves. Shein, it could identify a trend on TikTok and have it on your doorstep in under 2 weeks. That's insane. Its secret sauce? A highly sophisticated algorithm that monitors social media trends in real time, and a massive network of small Chinese manufacturers ready to spin up a new product line almost overnight. But there's always a catch, right? Behind the glossy website and influencer hauls, Shein has long been criticized for a number of things: questionable labor practices, environmental concerns, copyright issues, and accusations of overproduction. Yet none of these controversies really slowed it down because the prices were just that low. For many shoppers, it was easy to ignore the ethical gray areas when a whole outfit cost less than lunch. But as of late 2023 and into 2024, the Post and several other media outlets noticed a clear pattern. Shein's prices aren't what they used to be. A pair of leggings that once sold for $7 might now cost $12. Tops that were $5 are suddenly $9. That might not sound like a lot in absolute terms, but for a platform that built its entire identity around shockingly cheap, this shift is huge. So, what's driving this price hike? Let's look at a few major factors. First up, inflation and rising production costs. Like every other company on Earth, Shein isn't immune to global inflation. The cost of raw materials like cotton, polyester, and even dyes has gone up. Add to that rising labor costs in China and other supplier countries, and suddenly it's a lot more expensive to make that $4 tank top. Plus, shipping has gotten more expensive. Pandemic disruptions, fuel price hikes, and geopolitical tensions like the Red Sea shipping crisis have driven up the cost of moving goods across continents. Shein, which ships globally, is feeling that pinch just like Amazon or H&M. Regulatory pressure and legal scrutiny. Another big reason Shein's business model is changing. Governments are watching. In the US, Shein has come under heavy scrutiny. Lawmakers have raised concerns about forced labor in Xinjiang, where some of Shein's cotton was allegedly sourced. There have also been investigations into how the company avoids tariffs and duties by shipping orders individually under the so-called de minimis threshold. This attention is putting pressure on Shein to clean up its act, or at least appear to. And that means investing more in compliance, audits, and potentially moving some of its production out of controversial regions. All of that costs money. Believe it or not, Shein is trying to go mainstream, and to do that, it needs to mature as a business. That means opening distribution centers in countries like the United States, Mexico, and Brazil, partnering with influencers and fashion brands, launching resale platforms for used clothes, offering more consistent sizing and better customer service. All of this is part of a strategy to become more than just a Chinese dropshipping site. Shein wants to be seen as a serious player in global fashion, on par with Zara, H&M, maybe even Nike in the long term. But again, all of this costs money. And guess who ends up paying more? That's right, the customer. Here's the big one. Shein is eyeing an IPO, most likely in the US or UK. That means going public, listing on a stock exchange, and opening itself up to investors. Investors like growth, but they also like predictability, profits, and good optics. An IPO requires Shein to show it can make money consistently, and that means raising prices to improve margins. It also has to look good on paper. No legal troubles, no scandals, no human rights violations. So to impress Wall Street, Shein is slowly sanding down its rough edges, and part of that involves boosting prices. Consumer behavior is changing. Interestingly, customers themselves might be contributing to this shift. As awareness grows about the environmental and ethical costs of fast fashion, some shoppers are thinking twice before loading up their carts. There's a small but growing movement toward buying less, but better. And Shein is responding by offering higher quality options at slightly higher prices. Now don't get it twisted. Shein isn't suddenly becoming a sustainable fashion brand, but it is experimenting. Some collections now use recycled materials. They're even rolling out clothing that costs $30 or more, practically luxury by Shein standards. So where does this leave us? Shein is at a crossroads. It can't go back to the Wild West days of $3 dresses and zero accountability. Governments are watching, investors are watching, consumers are becoming more conscious. At the same time, it can't become too expensive or it'll lose the very audience that made it famous. So it's walking a tightrope, slowly raising prices, improving its image, and trying not to lose momentum. If you're a Shein fan, you're probably already feeling this shift. Maybe your latest haul wasn't quite the bargain it used to be. Maybe you're starting to wonder if the price is still worth it. And if you're someone who always gave Shein the side eye, this might feel like validation. After all, cheap clothes come at a cost. Just not always the one on the price tag. So, what's next for Shein? Well, keep an eye on that IPO. If it happens, you'll likely see even more changes. More physical stores, more ad campaigns, maybe even collaborations with big-name designers. But don't expect the old Shein to come back. The ultra-cheap era is fading, replaced by a slightly more polished, slightly more expensive version of itself. Whether that's a good thing or not depends on your point of view. But one thing is clear, the days of getting an entire wardrobe for under $50, they're probably behind us. So next time you browse Shein and wonder why your cart total seems higher than usual, now you know.